I'm Tony Fleming, and this is Fleming's Ultimate Garage. All right, thanks for joining me on today's video. You know, this is a styling change of the world. You say, Tone, what are you even saying when you spout off stuff like that? And I say, you know what? Good question. I'm glad you asked that question. So imagine it's the 50s, right? The cars before were very kind of rounded and very, you know, bubbly looking. And then the jet age came upon us, right? The jets started to come out. They were sleek. They were fast. Jet travel was joining us. And now we're talking about the 50s. And here we have great styling, incredible features on this car. I'm going to spend a few minutes showing you some super cool stuff you may not even have known about. Most people do not know about it. Some other things that are going on with the car, the level of restoration we have, the cool paint colors. My God, this is a good looking car. We're also going to get inside, see all that in there, see how you can take 5 of your best friends or some grandkids or couples, whatever, and it's a game changer for all that. Then we're going to go on a test drive, and let's get started. Okay, so this car has been restored, and it's significantly nicer than it would have been circa 1950s when it was brand new. It's restored to a much higher level because they were selling many of them at the time because it was such a beautiful car. For instance, let's look at the styling that went into it, right? We talked about the jet age. Here's some jets on the fenders, right? Clearly, we're talking about here, right? This is a jet kind of looking thing. This is the intakes of the jet engines, and we'll look in the back and we'll see some of those touches there. This Nassau and Harbor Blue two-tone paint is just beautiful. Here's a couple small cool things that you got on the cars in the 50s that people don't notice or they don't even know that's there. For instance, these right here, before we came out with clear 3M film that we put on wide body Porsches and Astons and things like that, Chevrolet was putting those on there to keep the rocks from chipping it. This insert right here, okay, this is an option. And why is it an option? Well, what it's designed to do is keep your fingernails from scratching the paint. Ladies had longer fingernails, some men had to, but this kept that from happening so that when you open the door, right, you didn't get any of that there. This was one of the first cars to come with a wraparound windshield. Wraparound, remember, they were all flat, right, and just kind of flat. This was like pioneering engine, and they had a strip in the top as a sunshade built in. Super cool stuff. All right, so we do these videos mostly for paint quality because pictures can make anything look good. Here, come on up here and let's look at the ceiling and the lights in the paint. Let's look at the letters in the paint. Don't just look at the paint. That's your lesson to see when you can see things crisp and clear. When you can see all of that stuff, you know you're getting great paint. And then the shiny chrome, all this been plated and polished. Beautifully, beautifully done. All right, so let's take a peek under the hood. But before we do, we have two different types of people here who would get a car from Flemings. And that is, one of them just wants a cool car to drive around, go to get dinner, coffee, ice cream, whatever. Then we have somebody who likes to do that as well as maybe go to some Cars and Coffee, go to a car show. I think you can do both in this car, and I'll show you what I mean by that, okay? In here, this is very nicely detailed, even down to the script on top of the valve covers. Everything's painted, everything's not black, everything's different colors, the clamps, all that good stuff, correct stuff that's going on inside here. But what I like to also point out too is there's some upgrades here that made the drivability much better. For instance, this has power brakes. This also has power steering. This has a 4-barrel and dual exhaust, where the other cars would have come with a 2-barrel and a single exhaust. So all of those things add up to a much better driving experience. It's even got that cool battery topper that's on it there. You can see the suspension is all new. All of this detail stuff in here. This is a really, really nice engine compartment. I'm really proud to show that off today. All right, so all of the styling has moved to the back of the car now, right? We have the fins of the jet, the exhausts of the jet coming out, right? And then we have some cool, like, upgrades. Most of the stuff is original style, but like those are upgrades for the exhaust tips and the side pieces that we talked about in there. One great feature about these cars is I do this all the time. So I drive one of these homes, my friends will come over and say, yeah, man, go check out the new gas cap we put on this thing. It's cool. And they're like spending an hour, I don't leave them out there for an hour, but you know what I mean? 5 minutes walking around going, man, we couldn't find the gas cap. Where is this thing? That's what most people don't know. Here is what makes this car so cool, is all of these little things add up to why they sold so many, right? In here is your gas cap. Hidden inside there. How cool is that? They didn't want to mess up the back of this for the styling, and they put it in here. You fill your gas. As you're done, lock it down. All right, inside the trunk, remember that this was a real car. People used these cars. all painted and detailed in here. The correct mat, the correct matching spare, jack and things like that, jacking instructions over there. 9 times out of 10, we don't get a car with a spare or jack or anything. It's all here and looks good. It's an original style bias ply tire to match the other ones that go around there. And you can go away for the weekend. Imagine going away, throwing your bags, luggage, or what have you, in something like this versus your daily driver. It makes for a pretty good experience. You could go to the beach, you could go to a car show and take a cooler and a couple chairs. Like, it's a functional car. And then when you talk about quality and you close the trunk, that sounds nice. It's hard not to use this shot when you're walking up to a car and see the colors of it and go, how great looking is that car? It would be your car. How cool would that be? So now, having said that, let's get inside. So before we do that, this is a real 6-passenger car. Easy for people to get in and out of, right? And imagine 2 other couples with you too, or the grandkids, or some friends. Like, you go to the movies in this cool car. I'm smiling because I'm thinking to myself, how cool is that? And like, little stuff that you forget. We have kids that come here and they've never seen this. Look at this. Works like it's just like it's supposed to. They're like, what are those knobs? Well, they're window cranks, man. And that's cool. So, a couple upgrades you can get. But before we get into the upgrades, beautifully restored. New carpets, seat covers, painted wheel, the dash trim is all new, the bezels, all this good stuff, visors, what have you. And then what I wanted to point out was that this has a feature in it that most people don't know what it is, and that's this right here. What that does is, and it moves, you can pivot it, right, to whatever angle you want it to do, called the guide, eye guide. And what it does is it would reflect, because this was here, you couldn't see the traffic light many times. So it would reflect the traffic light in it so that you would know when it turned green. How cool is that? They also make a steering wheel that's smaller, so if you wanted a little more room in here, you could do that. It's a really nice, it looks just like this, but it's a smaller version. Lastly, let's talk about this one last thing, and this could be converted to automatic. Automatic is what's done to many of these cars. It looks exactly the same, except no pedal additional there. Or if you wanted to keep it a manual transmission and you didn't want the manual transmission here on the column, it can be moved down to the floor there. It's the same pattern. If you've never driven one, just imagine first, second, third, and fourth is like this. Well, the same is here. You know, first, second, third, and fourth, all these same exact thing going on. It has heat in it. It has all the things that you could do to use it. And I like to point out the last couple things, and that the footwell is working, the vents are there, and if you wanted to get a nice digital sound system and not mess up the coolness of this dash, we do that and we hide them inside here in the glove box, and that way you can stream your music, even take a call if you wanted to, or something like that. When you have a nicely restored car, it does things that other cars don't do. These are some of the things I like to point out. For instance, like the generator and oil light are working the way they should. The horn works the way it should and sounds like it should. And then when you hit the key, fires right up the way it's supposed to. That's what we're talking about. You know what we're doing? We're doing exactly what we're supposed to in this car, and that is going for a drive. This is the kind of car that you just go for a drive in, man. It takes your whole life down. You're doing exactly what you don't normally do, right? Normally you're all stressing it. You're checking your text messages, checking to see your Facebook feed, the boss is emailing you, like all that stuff. And you know what I'm doing? I'm saying I'm disconnecting. I'm disconnecting from the craziness of life, that feed that's coming in all the time. And you know what I'm doing? I'm going for a drive. And we're going for a drive, just so easy to drive this manual on the here. They call it 3 on the tree, or on the column, right? And again, we talked about some of the changes you'll be able to make on it if you wanted to. It's just an easy car to drive. I'm going for a drive. Yes, that's what I'm doing today. You got me out of work. I appreciate that. We're going for for a drive. We're just going for a drive. How often do you do that? Never. And that's what this car does for you. It allows you to do exactly that. It forces you to take the Bel Air out and go for a drive. It's got a nice little rumble in the back. You know it's a V8, right? It goes down the road so beautifully. We're going down a country road. It's all nice and windy. Our eye guide there is a guide eye. It's working like it's supposed to. And I don't know, man, this kind of makes me smile. I think to myself how nice this is that we're able to do this together today, right? Just so wonderful. Anyway, thanks for driving with me today. I really appreciate that. If you don't mind, hit the like there down below. That helps get our message out. And if you would, subscribe to the channel. We got new stuff coming out all the time. And maybe share it with your friends. They might like to see something there on as well. And I will see you on the next drive. All right, that was a great test drive, was it not? I told you, man. I told you you'd be smiling just like this here. We talked about a lot. We drove a lot. You know, just a quick recap. Great color combinations of the Nassau Blue and Harbor Blue as well. The great styling trends in here. The beautiful interior. The detailed trunk with a spare and all that good stuff going on. We looked at the Magic Eye there. We looked at the fingernail guards, stainless trim. This has real wide whites on it, which are super expensive. Take a minute to look and see all of the hard work that's been done on these cars. Most restorations right now cost as much as this car is to buy today. That means you're getting a free car to start with. And if you want a cool Bel Air convertible to start with, you're going to have to find one, and they're in $30,000 or $40,000 range just to find a car to restore. That's why this is such a great car.